In this video, I'm going to combine two images and make sort of a collage by taking one image and laying it on top of the other so they're both visible. So I started with this one image, and I picked this one because it's large. It has a good image quality, and I made it. It's off the internet. It is 1024 pixels by 768. It's actually a background for a desktop. And picked the other one just because I like the content. It's also high quality. So this one comes in at 800 by 1204. So I'm going to take this one and I'm going to use select all, and next I'm going to choose copy, go back to this image here, and I'm going to use edit paste. Now there are keyboard shortcuts that are listed in the menus. Now I'm going to use edit free transform. Using shift, I'm going to shrink this down. The reason I use shift is if I don't, it may pick its own direction on aspect ratio, so it may change a little bit. Okay, so what I'm going to do actually first is apply. I'm going to cut this up a little bit, so I'm going to take that part off using the rectangular marquee tool. Now my feathering was on. Right now I don't want feathering. I want to set my feathering to 0. So let's set the feathering there. So I'm going to have to start with a nice square image. That feels pretty good. So I'm going to take this one, deselect, and what I'll do next is I want to fade the edges of my selection. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose my rectangular marquee tool. I'm going to set my feathering to about 25 pixels. And I might get this right and I might not. We're going to find out. So that's the selection there. And on the inside is not what I want to disappear. I want to make the outside go away. So I select inverse and I push delete. And then I deselect. And I can even rotate that. Image, edit, free transform, and let's rotate that. So there's this. So I can add lots of images in here. I can add lots of images in here to make it look the way I want it to look. So just for fun, I've also got this other picture that I'm going to combine, and I'm just going to take the part that I want this time instead of the whole thing. Okay, so let me have him jumping over that skateboard there. If I use space, I can actually move my selection as I create it. And now I'm going to take edit, copy, go back to my this image, and edit paste, or Control V works good too. Now that one's pretty huge. So using the transform tool, which is, by the way, Control T, keyboard shortcut, and I'm going to shrink that one down, and I want it to fit within my image. So I'm just trying to combine a conceptual image of a bunch of different action sports to create sort of the idea that I'm working on here. So I'm now going to push enter, and that looks, you know, here I am in a world of waves and stuff, and the square shape just doesn't feel right for this scene. So I'm going to take and use the elliptical marquee tool. Just select that. Using space a little bit. Space lets me move my selection. Again, I'm going to invert my selection. Now look what I forgot to do. This should be feathered. So I'm going to deselect and try that over again. Deselect. There's the feathering setting, which I'm going to set to 25, which is what I had in the other one when I did the marquee for the rectangular. So here's this one. Again, I'm going to inverse and delete. It's really important when I delete that I have the right layer selected, or it's not going to work. So there I've got 3 images that are combined in one and create a collage. Something I could try if I want to is I could try the effects. So here's a drop shadow, for example. And the drop shadow, as you can see, lets me make a bit of an effect around the outside of my image. I can make a distance on it more. I can choose which way I want it to fall. Okay, there's other things you could try. Outer glow might work well on this as well. So it's similar to the shadow, except it's other colors and it's less dimensional. So let's go back to the drop shadow. I kind of like that one. And I can choose the color for my drop shadow. I can also choose the opacity or transparency of it. So that's what that works. And if I like that, I can actually take this, copy layer style, go to the other layer where this guy is, and that was a good idea. I'm looking to paste layer style. Paste layer style, there it is. So now they both have the same effect. And That's how it works. When you're done, make sure you post it as a PNG image and no greater than 600 pixels wide.